I'm surprised I hadn't seen it, but it is actually really good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Oh, actually, like,
Actually,
there
I was surprised. I mean, for an action revenge movie, I was like, "Oh, okay, so like 007 kind of,
oh,
they all
that didn't
kind
even
of."
cross my mind.
Hi, I'm Cade,
And I'm Kit,
and we're real people,
doing real reviews
and this week is episode 3.
on season 3 of Stories That Stick. These are the movies that have shaped our perspective on cinema and the movies that have stuck out to us. And that's the title. That's where it came from. What are we covering today?
And the next 2 episodes are gonna be movies about revenge.
Revenge. Mm-mm-mm.
And this is your pick,
This is
so what did you pick?
I picked Columbiana, which the lead character is Zoe Saldana, and this is actually the very first movie that I ever saw her in, and yeah, it's definitely it's my pick. Do I talk about why?
Yeah, why
Sh-
did you pick it?
Okay. The reason why I picked this one as a revenge movie is because typically when we see female assassins being portrayed in cinema, they are put in a position of seduction. And
Mm,
that's their superpower. And if you think of like the majority of even female superheroes, a lot of time they're put into this position of seduction and manipulation that way. And this film is not that. She is not portrayed that way at all. She is very specifically talked about for her intelligence and for being really clever. And I thought this was an interesting take on a female assassin movie.
yeah,
Hmm.
okay.
Yeah.
So basically the breakdown of the movie,
Mm-hmm.
you can help me out here, but
It's
it
just,
starts when she's a little child. Her dad is sitting with a mob boss.
mm-hmm.
We never really know what, just a bad guy.
Just a
He's
bad guy. Yeah. It doesn't say weapons or weed or it doesn't even
or
say
drugs or what.
something bad.
Yes,
Mhm.
bad guy. Her dad it or yeah, her dad is a basically
Right hand man to him.
right-hand man to this boss.
Yeah.
Something goes sideways.
Mm-hmm.
He leaves it, but he knows that the boss is gonna come after him to kill him.
Mhm, and he has stolen a microchip that I think talks about the sourcing of the other bad guys and how, like, the trail of where whatever they're doing goes. And, so he gets to his home, he has a wife and then this very young daughter, and he said, "Listen, this is your passport, this little microchip," and, puts it in her, kind of little shirt, and she's in, like, a school
School
uniform.
uniform, yeah.
So cute, and, the bad guys come both angles, the mom and dad go out all you hear is guns. She has to escape. And so she's sitting at the table and she's sitting across from the new mob boss's new right hand guy.
New right-hand guy, and he's basically asking about the chip,
Mhm.
which the dad gives her a orchid pendant necklace, which kinda
Yeah.
kinda runs through the whole movie,
Mhm.
that is only grown in Colombia.
Mhm.
It'll come in handy later in the story.
Mhm.
Um,
Yep.
but basically, she has the chip, the guy's asking her about it, and you can see her through that thought process of, "Should I tell him? Should I not tell him?"
Mhm.
And she pulls out this knife and stabs him in the hand.
And
And
and traps him to the table so she
yeah,
can jump out the window.
yeah, and then it's a really cool,
Like parkour. Like
yeah,
8-year-old parkour. Like
hardcore scene.
crazy.
She's just running through this neighborhood.
Yeah.
Obviously the bad guys start chasing her.
Yeah.
They're on motorcycles, they're
Rooftop.
running, they're in cars.
Mhm.
She's like running through all of these places, climbing walls, um, jumping through windows,
Like this
other
8-year-old is
people.
killing it.
Yeah, yeah, it's a very cool scene, and I would say, like, it's not a short scene either. Like,
No.
this is
Little girl stunt crew.
stunt crew,
Crazy.
absolutely, very cool. She ends up getting away by, um,
Sliding into a drain, like
to a drain, yeah,
mhm,
and then she kinda comes up, out of the drain by the embassy,
mhm,
and basically she walks up, gives them the card that her dad gave her, and she goes to this guy,
yeah,
and he's like, "What do you have for me?" And she's like, "My passport."
Yeah.
And he's like, "What?" And then she basically throws up
The
the
microchip.
this chip because, she had swallowed it, which I also thought was clever and smart for someone of that age. Like,
She
I
was like,
don't necessarily know if I would have
"She
thought of
might
that.
check out my clothes, so I'm just gonna" yeah.
Well, I can't run with it, it may get lost,
Mhm.
but she dug through it, found it, um, and then the next scene cuts to her in the United States,
Mhm.
um,
Looking for her uncle, so she has an
well,
address for her
we don't
uncle.
know that yet, so
Yeah.
then she's at the airport, she, says she has to go to the bathroom, and then she escapes again,
Yeah.
um,
Comes through a window.
climbs through a window, gets on a bus, heads to Chicago, where her mom's brother and their mom?
Yeah.
Her grandma lives.
Which is amazing, and she's reading Xena Warrior Princess, which I thought was such an interesting like, that's her comic book choice when she's, like, on the bus, and
Mhm.
that which so shows, like, her youth, you know what I mean? Like, it's sweet, like, she's gonna be bored, like, she got herself something, and then she goes and it's revealed pretty quick that, like, okay, the family does bad things because one of the first after she finds the uncle who's in the middle of beating some man up in a basement,
Yes.
you're like, "All right." Then it goes to showing her in the kitchen with this grandma, and then she goes to bed, and she wakes up, and she's like, "Whose bed was I in?" And it was, the son of the uncle who had passed away, and then she's like, "I would like to be a killer."
Yeah,
And they're just acknowledging that and being like, "Okay,
yeah.
this is what it'll take."
And then, the uncle takes her to a school, pays off the principal,
Mhm.
and then she's enrolled,
Yeah.
but then she leaves and she kinda has a little hissy fit, and she's like, "No, I told you I wanted to be a killer,"
Mhm.
and then he, like, whips out a gun and just starts shooting, and it, causes a wreck across the street,
Mhm.
which I also thought was kind of a cool scene, like, their, family dynamic and how emotional that was, but, like, also that their normal is not my normal.
No,
Uh,
but it is very normalized
yeah,
in the movie, for
in the
sure.
movie because they don't run off even though he's caused all this commotion. You hear sirens coming, potential police, and then basically he says, "Well, you need to be smarter, you need to be quicker, you need to be more intelligent than other people if you wanna be the killer."
Mhm.
And,
And she chooses that.
she chooses that, and then it cuts to her in adult life.
Mhm.
I don't think we missed anything in the beginning there.
No,
No.
and I think the beginning is so great because it's such a great setup for just a layered character development. I think that you feel for her, that she wants revenge immediately. Like
Yeah.
she's
That
very
pain of losing her family, yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. Also, that young girl did a really good job.
I mean, these actors,
Yeah.
brava. I agree. It's fun because after you're like, okay, she's gonna be smarter. How? Then it goes into the storyline of like how clever he
Yeah.
is. And
Which is also cool.
I know that whole scene is really sad.
So then it cuts to
Mm.
basically, her character has a sports car
And
and
drives into a cop car.
yeah, drives into a cop car and, like, smashes into it, and she pretends she's drunk,
Yeah.
which then they arrest her and they take her into the station,
Mhm.
and, um, it's also, like, very cool because in that scene, she's also using her looks and
Mhm.
kind of her appearance to her advantage over, like, these cops, um, but she only has on her a library card with a fictitious name,
Mhm.
which, I mean, at that point, I didn't know if it was her or not her, what
Mhm.
was going on, but basically, she's pretending that she's drunk, and they put her in the drunk tank in this police station,
Yeah.
and then we find out that there's a transport of an actual criminal that
Mhm.
needs to stay overnight in this police station, and very clever in the sense that, like, um, this cop, like, brings her a coffee, and then all of a sudden she, like, snaps to,
Mhm.
pulls off what she's wearing, is in this, like, slinky, like, black
Black.
number. She gets out,
Mhm.
She sets up a trigger to turn off the fan so she can go through the ducts to actually get to this other kind of person,
Mhm.
which is also kind of a cool scene because she's doing all of these things. She gets in there, she kills him, frames one of the other police officers that's there, and then gets out almost clean. Like there's some like she's climbing walls. She's like, it was a bit of like Catwoman kind of moment. I was like, look at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Very fit. It
very fit.
and it, like, it stands out because, again, they're like, when you're watching her, yeah, kinda slink and, like, be that way, it's on purpose. Like, it's precision, right?
Yeah.
Like, she's
She's, like, thought about everything and all the way through it. However,
Mhm.
in that scene, she's actually drawn on his chest, the orchid,
Mhm.
that her dad gave her.
Yeah.
And so the FBI agents that come in that are put on this case are like, "Actually, now we need to go to the press because it turns out there's 21 of
Mhm.
these kills that have this orchid on it." So they're like, "It's a serial killer. It must be a serial killer who must be a man," which is also kind of fascinating in that sense.
It's many times that they talk about it being a guy because of, like, like, kind of hurting this cop and using it in, like, a video screen, like, who could move somebody like this,
Yeah.
um, and after she does all of this damage, she just, like, slinks back into her little drunk tank and then
And then
straight to
walks
police
out
the
the
next
next
day.
yeah, which is also cool, like, she,
Mhm,
removed her fingerprints, those sorts of things. But
mhm.
then after that, she meets up with her love,
Yes.
and
Oh, of
see?
course, did that stand out
See?
to you?
Yep, see? Love. Love is love.
But
So so apparently after all of her kills, she goes and sees this artist.
Mhm.
He knows nothing about her,
Yeah,
but is into her, and she's clearly into him.
yeah.
And then she has a night with him, and then she's gone again. She
Mhm.
just disappears.
She has kind of like a safe house looking apartment with multiple cameras,
Yeah.
and yeah, she never kinda leaves for too long.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So then her next kind of kill, which, is this, like, very rich kind of Guido of a man, kind of I figure Miami, kind of showy with, like,
Yeah, he would
girls around him. He has, like, sharks in his, like, swimming pool kinda swimming around.
yeah.
Um, and again, another kinda cool scene, another cool kill,
Mhm.
in regards to this kinda scene, um, with him, and it kinda is building with her uncle at this time because now they're starting to report in papers. It's getting actually back to the head boss that, um,
She ultimately wants revenge over.
ultimately wants revenge over, who, also too is protected somehow by the CIA and is in New Orleans in
Like,
the
cut
States.
some deal.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah. Mhm.
So yep.
No, you go. You go. I was just gonna say that what's interesting about the like, what you kinda just chatted about is you're not really sure why she's killing all these random people, except that her uncle is, like, giving her the, like, jobs. So you're like, "Okay, this is part of the jobs. This is how the family's run." So she's killing these people, but, like, it's not really revenge. So, like, why is she 22 now? Like,
Yeah.
how many? And now it's all over the
Okay.
press. Like, where is that coming from? So it isn't really revealed until that mom boss is like, "I can see this orchid that's only from
Mhm.
Colombia. This is for me. I think it's her."
Yeah.
It's the first time that somebody thought it was her because the entire time people are looking for a male killer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so, at the same time, the FBI agent, which oddly enough is holding up that orchid, and someone in the office is like, "Oh, that's an orchid. My wife
Mhm.
grew up there."
Yep.
Those sorts of things. So then he gets on the trail, and actually kind of hunts her down because the lover had taken a picture of her while she was sleeping,
Mm.
and his friend took it and then sent it to a woman who works for a police station, and they ran it through the system,
Trying to figure out who she was.
and that's how they caught her.
Mm.
So now after they went after her, she started going after the FBI agent, which also very cool. Um,
Talk about that scene. Like,
the
you
which
know,
one?
when he's at home.
Oh, when he's at home and she's already inside,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Don't move."
Yeah.
And he actually sits down and, like, they have, like, this back and forth where it's
Mhm.
almost like she's reasoning with him like she's good and she has to do this, and he'll see why,
Mhm.
but he needs to help her or his family's gonna be in trouble,
Yeah.
and very believable.
Mhm.
And so he's then goes after the CIA to help her, which she was already there,
Mhm.
also cool.
Yeah.
Um, so very meticulous all the way through that.
Yeah, and then she puts a little red dot through the window.
Yeah.
They're like, "You need to help him because otherwise I'm gonna shoot you." And he's like, "She has already done 22 people, like, you're probably just one more," you know?
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, I'll give you the info. This is where we are hiding this bad guy, and so here's the address." And she was like, "Great."
Great. And then so basically then the next scene is the people preparing because they know she's coming,
Mhm.
and they're like, "Expect the unexpected," and then a big missile
Through the
comes
front door.
through the front door, comes into the house, which I thought was a very clever scene.
I love that scene because 'cause they're like, "She is like mist under the door.
Yeah.
She is like a mouse in the walls." And the whole time you're thinking, "Yeah, she is like that." And then she chose a missile
Just
through the front door.
drift came right in. She's
Mhm.
in, like, this big truck and just, they're trying to get away, and
Mhm.
she, like, smashes into him,
Mhm.
kinda as she's going into the place.
Yeah,
Eh.
it's quite aggressive, like,
Yeah.
her fight scenes in that movie. Because not only does she, use weapons, but there is a scene where she's doing a hand-to-hand combat with the new right-hand man, and she uses, like, a towel, just kind of like hand-to-hand combat, and the fight scene's quite long, and it's quite impressive and a little bit believable that this is how, because he's a lot bigger than her, like, she's using her smarts, like,
Yep.
in this hand-to-hand combat to, like,
She has, like, 2 toothbrushes at one point.
Yep.
Like, it is a very cool scene.
Yeah.
We were like,
Creative.
"Oh, is that how he's gonna die?"
Is she gonna jab him in the eye? I'm like, we have watched
No.
a lot of horror
Yeah.
stories.
Yeah.
There was no eye jab. That was
You
just it.
see them too?
Yeah. That's true.
So obviously at the end of the movie, um,
Mhm.
it's kinda clever because the boss is, like, hiding, and
Mhm.
so, like, she has this big fight scene with this secondhand man.
Yeah.
She finally kills him,
Mhm.
and
She comes out to get the boss, but he's driving away.
yeah, and so you're like, "Oh, he got away,"
Ugh,
and she's like, "Actually, you're right where
I want you.
I want you," and she had put dogs in the car that he picked to get away,
Mhm.
and basically they eat him,
Yeah.
and that's the end of the movie.
And then you're like,
Well, I guess that's not the end of the movie. I mean, I'll share the love part.
"Okay, then what happens?"
So then,
Mhm.
she uses a payphone
Yeah.
to call the lover again, and basically over the phone, he says, "I love you," and she has a moment, and then she hangs up and then gets on a bus. That's the end.
Yeah. I remember you were like, "That's so smart. Buses, they don't you can pay in cash,
Yeah.
on to be tracked. That is the way to get around if you're an assassin."
Well, I said that because I
Mhm.
do a lot of traveling, and you have to obviously put down your name,
Passport.
passport, everything to fly on an airplane.
Mhm.
However, with a bus, you just need to buy a ticket. They don't need your name.
Mm-mm.
So, made sense to me.
The
Yeah.
love scene. Um, that was a good recap. It is
Yeah.
a great revenge film.
Yeah. So for me, what I got out of it, definitely I agree. I think the revenge starts 10 minutes in
Mhm.
from the beginning. She's plotting from that part, as well as I think she's a very smart character um, within that, as well as like it pieces together the storyline quite well.
Mhm.
I think if you start really thinking like through each of the individual scenes and how they're pieced together, there's certainly gaps. And
Mhm.
and we discussed this. There's gaps in kind of that story.
Mhm.
But I think for an action film, solid, solid movie.
Yeah.
Cool kind of fight scenes, running chase scenes. Like,
Creative
yeah,
creative fight scenes. And that's something that, because I think it's a TriStar picture, and it's something that TriStar Pictures actually does really well is making your chase scenes or your fight scenes really intimate. And it's the way that they film it because they film it really close to the body and really close to like the feet and the tires, and you feel very much like it's together. And I think that they're one of the best actually when it talks about action. Which again, this is why it's one of my picks. What is your what was your rating out of 10
I
for it?
rated this movie an 8 out of 10.
Me too.
I liked it.
I
Yeah.
liked it too.
I'm surprised I hadn't seen it, but it is actually really good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Oh, actually,
Actually,
like
I was surprised. I mean, for an action revenge movie, I was like, "Oh, okay, so like 007 kind of,
oh,
they all
that didn't
kind
even
of."
cross my mind.
No?
Devils no, but
Well,
yeah,
yeah. So, what did you rate it?
8.
8.
Also 8
Go
out of
ahead.
10. I do think it's better than You Killed My Brother, which is, like, I feel like 80% of
Yeah.
revenge
Well, I
movies
mean,
and action movies.
you
Mhm,
killed my mom and dad, so
mhm. Yeah,
same, same.
I think that I thi well, I think that family does do the best for it. It makes the most sense, like wife, family,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, and so I think it's really great, and I'm so glad that you liked this pick. I'm curious for people who are watching this, so if you wanna put in the comments below, I'm curious on if you can think of and not Taken, because we know, but like a really great solid male lead assassin
Revenge movie.
that's a revenge movie,
Yeah.
and not like I said, like, I Killed My Brother or like Jason Statham. He's usually in those movies, and Taken. Can you think of more? And, we really struggled kind of finding some that was revenge. It always seems to be women, which is
Women,
not
yeah.
bad. No.
Scorn.
Yes, well, hell has no fury. Um, thanks for watching. If you are watching us on Apple or Spotify, please scroll to the bottom and give us those 5 stars. Reviewers need reviews to get Rotten
Yeah.
Tomatoes certified. So please go ahead and do that. And if you're watching us on a broadcast channel, stay tuned for more.
Bye, guys.